Next, I'll show you how I created this step by step. So stay tuned and please subscribe. Hi, this is Alicia with the channel Doing Older. Today I'm bringing you a video of my castle dollhouse or miniature, and it's a little bit different. Instead of beautiful rooms with wallpapers and beds and chairs, mine's all done with cartoon characters. As you go room to room, you'll see characters that you remember from the past. They're special to me. There's characters from Christmas time and cartoons I watched with my child as she grew up, or just special things that make me smile. It's an easy way to do a dollhouse. If you have current collections, you could make a dollhouse like this very easily. I could see one done with Hummel characters, miniature animals you might have. Swarovski made all those little crystal animals. That would be a beautiful miniature as well. I hope this inspires you and gives you ideas for your own creations. Please click subscribe so you can find me again. In the future, I'll be showing you some of the other dollhouses and miniatures that I've done in the past or I'm currently involved in. I hope you enjoy this. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks. This is the dollhouse I started with. I got it at Goodwill for $19.99. I found out there were pieces missing, but I didn't care. It was perfect for what I wanted to do. There were parts of it that were enclosed and I wanted to open them up, so I took a jigsaw and I cut it out. What a mistake. What a mess. But it ended up working, and once I cleaned it up, it turned out okay. It was just for me anyway. The next step was to paint this bright white, which I did by hand with acrylics. In the future, I've learned that spray painting is much easier. I painted the peaks a bright Christmas red and took some shingle material and painted that green, added it to the trim, and I think it gives it a nice holiday look. It also covered up some of the mistakes I made in the cutting process. I painted a few rooms, I hung some paper drapes, but now it was time to start adding my fun characters. I didn't do it in any particular order, and I started with a beautiful lighthouse I found that was just a regular Christmas ornament, but it has Santa going around, and every Christmas dollhouse I think needs a Santa and his sleigh. I just stuck it down in the top of the castle. The rest of the lights of the dollhouse are battery operated. You can see behind one of the characters here, the boxes that I have to switch on to turn the lights on. In a future video, I'll be converting this all to electric. But there's Scooby-Doo. I enjoyed that as a kid. I watched all of them. And my Grim Reaper and my skeletons. I keep going with Jack. Although he's modern, I watched a lot of him. And Captain Hook. I created my own version of Whoville, and there's the Grinch himself. I then have a bunch of characters carrying presents to the Minion King with a Minion cop directing traffic. And then, of course, you have your goofy minion guy who got tangled up in the lights. I really think he's funny looking. It makes me smile every time I see him. When I was raising my daughter, a video game called Animal Crossing came out, which I bought for her, but ended up playing 10 times more than she did. But it brings me joy to see this little ode I put in the dollhouse to it. It was a game we played together for a long time. In a later video, I'll show you how I put this little homage together. As we go to the lower level of the dollhouse, you can see another black battery box hidden behind the Christmas tree, and then more characters scattered around. I've got Bugs Bunny in a snowball fight with his cousins, and in the back you see 101 Dalmatians, and underneath the sled is Mr. Bill character, and if you're old enough to remember very late nights watching Mr. Bill, oh no, Mr. Bill. And then you see my Count from Sesame Street in his coffin, and some of my Whoville characters that I found online. I bought them separately, so it's a lot less expensive, or I got them in a bag from Goodwill. It's a very inexpensive way to go. And here are a couple more tribute rooms to shows that were special as my daughter grew up, including Finding Nemo, SpongeBob, and Jurassic Park. Then we have Minnie and Mickey Mouse, and he's handing her an engagement ring. I thought that's a fun thing to put up on the top of a castle. Then we come down and we can see Frosty the Snowman with the Burl Ives character in front of a Christmas tree. Sylvester standing on some presents trying to reach up to Tweety Bird. And we have the Grinch from The Grinch It Stole Christmas. And Snoopy going down a chimney. And you even see a little Dumbo character. Then my all-time favorite are Christmas cartoons. And this is Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys. There's Hermie the Elf and Charlie in the Box, Santa with Rudolph and Clarice. You see the abominable snow monster and Yukon Cornelius. Lots of fun. When we go downstairs, we find Santa's room, his coat and boots hanging on a rack, a little girl writing a letter to Santa, stockings hung by the fireplace, his naughty and nice list on the chair, and in the back you see a lamp from A Christmas Story. I thought that was funny. It was an ornament that I just put as a regular piece of furniture. And then you have a desk with all the letters to Santa, including his glasses. And lastly, we have a little kitchen area with an M&M serving cakes and candies and goodies. And here's the dollhouse all lit up. I keep the dollhouses out year-round because they bring me joy, but they don't usually have lights. Only when company's over or it's the holiday season, but it sure makes a beautiful sight. Well, I hope I've inspired you to start a creation of your own. Keep an eye out when you're reselling or at Goodwill and find your own castle to redo or dollhouse to paint and add your own characters. Thanks for watching and please subscribe.